Okay, welcome to Vlogmas day whatever the fuck, 16. It's 11:20 at night right now. I have no video as of right now, but my goal is to yap for like 10-15 minutes and see what the video turns into. And my thinking is I go on Pinterest and I look at like journaling prompts, because I feel like journaling prompts give you good ideas for like questions and like thinking and stuff, and I feel like it'll be fun for me to talk about like whatever pops up, and we'll see what it spitballs into. But I had a decent day. I like mentally been a little like losing it, just feel tired and like whatever. Ooh, we can do a 2025 end of year reflection. I don't know if I need to do all that right now though. Okay. But yeah, I've just been out of it. This is probably gonna be a one-take video. Okay, we're gonna do whatever this is. This 10 questions to get to know yourself. What is something you love about myself? I love my mindset sometimes, but I like to think I have a mostly positive outlook on life and situations, and especially lately, I've just been thinking like, if I can I'm gonna squeeze the water out of my hair because my hair is sopping wet. But I've been just thinking lately, if I can do things for the experience, like it's a positive, it's a win, you know? So I really just like my outlook and my positivity and my kindness. What makes you come alive? What makes me come alive is creating. I love to write. I love to play music. I love to make videos. I love to make TikToks. I love to take pictures. I love to create an outfit or a makeup look or a playlist. Or I also just love, I feel like that Vine. I have ADHD. Squirrel. You know what I'm talking about though? Anyways, I love human connection and talking with people, and I love art, because if you're not an art lover and like a music, movie, TV person, it's just like you just don't get it. And art is such an extension of connecting with life, in my opinion, and that makes me come alive, is kind of doing my own version, and I've like barely scratched the surface on everything. So, but yes, waking up every day and just like striving towards creating and just trying every day, 1% better every day. And I've learned lately that like consistency can mean like you do so good one day and you're so low the next, and you're kind of in the middle the next day, and then you're a little better, and it's peaks and valleys is what I'm learning, is like the expression of like a flower doesn't bloom all year, you know what I mean? Or those expressions. I'm definitely paraphrasing it very lately, but you know what I mean? It's like seasons change for a reason, and you also change, and like you can't expect yourself to stay the same every single day. So that's kind of what I'm learning right now. How does a perfect day look like for you? A perfect day for me, again, would just be like hanging out with friends and family, because every time I walk away from a hangout, like I just got back with my dad, and it was like, that was so like fulfilling and fun, and just like connecting with people you love. If I can do that in some form, some way, even just like a hug from my mom, or like a text from my brother that makes me laugh, or like just human connection and loved ones. A concert. I love waking up and being like, I have a concert today. Best feeling. Or just very spontaneous things are also really fun, and I'm definitely leaning into doing that more, even if I end up doing things alone. Slowly but surely getting there, but I definitely need to amp it up a notch and take my life to the next level. So I want to just explore, and I'm only young once, you know, so yeah. But music, love a good coffee, a little sweet treat, human connection, spontaneous. Honestly, perfect days are where you expect nothing and then so much greatness happens in a day. That's a perfect day. What are some things you've had to unlearn? That is deep. What are some things you've had to unlearn? Oh my God, I need to think about that for like 2 seconds. I'm gonna pause it. I think I've had to unlearn like thinking negatively and just always thinking the negative thought or the judgy thought, or I don't know, I'm just a lot more empathetic and graceful with my intentions and with like speaking and thinking things, if that makes sense. That might not even make sense because it's late and it's been a long day. But I'd probably say that, and then I need to pause it again. And then I think I've just had to unlearn like allowing, like I've had to unlearn what I've tolerated in the past is not okay. You know what I mean? Like I've grown a thicker skin from the time I was like 14, 16, 17 up until now. And I feel like it's going to continue as I grow. I'm only 23, so I still feel this big, but I've had to just unlearn like tolerating the bullshit just to keep people around. Like it's better to protect your peace and yourself rather than like keep people in your life just to have them in your life, you know? So that for sure. And then the next question is, what was a major turning point in your life? I would probably say the pandemic in 2020, which might seem like a basic answer, but it was such a transformative period for me because I was graduating high school. I was in college for a little bit and then I dropped out in 2021. I was working, I was like losing friends, gaining friends, but then not even being able to hang out with them because of the pandemic. I was discovering like so much art and music and found so many hobbies and just read so much and listened to so much music. And yeah, that was a major turning point to just be like, you're not in high school anymore. Like it was such a drastic, fast goodbye. And like high school, I'm so glad I didn't peak in high school because it was such, like looking back, I have only been out of high school for 5 years, but high school was such a minuscule part of my life, and I enjoyed it and I took it for what it was when I was in it. But looking back, I'm like, I have this much of my life and high school is this like a sliver of my life. So that was a turning point to just like leave that all behind and kind of move on as the world is changing, as so much is changing worldwide. So that was definitely a turning point, and just discovering who I am and like actually having the time to sit with myself because there was no socializing outside of home was really crazy. What was something that made you change the way you think, your perspective in life? Honestly, I would say like my job right now, which sounds silly, but when I was at my high school job, it was just like, it was a smaller business, chill vibe, but then moving from a small business to with like 17 coworkers, which mind you, there was probably like 6 or 7 of us working a day, 17 total staff members, to working with like 100 or a freaking like good amount of people are at my current job. But I was literally talking about it with my dad a little bit on the car ride home, and he was like, does that first job just feel like a lifetime ago? And I'm just like, yeah, I feel like I've come out of my shell at my current job, and I feel like each job and each kind of stepping stone in my life is obviously gonna like, I'm never gonna be like my full self, if that makes sense, because I'm always going to be myself, but just constantly changing and evolving. So yeah, I would say my job. So just like community, even. What is something you love now that you could have never imagined you would like in the past? Honestly, and this goes back to like always kind of being who I am to the core. I've always loved like everything I still love. I've always loved music. I've always loved sweet treats, and I mean, I guess like coffee and matcha, which sounds like, this fly has been in my room. You're done. Literally, you're done. You're done. Like, it's over. Coffee and matcha, I just started drinking. I swear I'm wearing pants, but I'm just wearing shorts. Coffee and matcha I've been drinking since like 2022. So I guess like that, because growing up, like, coffee felt like such an adult thing to me. But that's such a small thing. But I would say like everything big, like music, writing, books, romantic, like TV and movies, and like 2000s movies, and like pop culture and fashion and girly trinkets, sparkle, like everything I liked then I like now, just in a different way. What chapters would you separate your autobiography into? I would say that's hard. Ooh, that's hard. Okay, I'd probably say like birth until preschool. No, birth until before preschool. And then I would do like preschool to 2nd grade. And then I would do 3rd grade to 5th grade. 3rd grade to 6th grade. And then I would do 7th grade to like 10th grade. And then I would do 11th grade to 12th grade. And then I would do like 18 would be its own, 19 would be its own, 20 would be its own. 20 and 21 would be one, and then 22, 23 would be its own, I think, is what I would do. What's the most impactful no you have said? I think just cutting certain people out of my life. Fire. Why did you decide to do what you are doing now in your life? I feel like there's different ways I could answer this question. Why did you decide to do what you are doing now in your life? In terms of content and like posting, I want to get back into it in a way I haven't before. Consistent as much as possible. Not only quantity, but quality. I'm excited to do both and just immerse myself. And I feel like I've neglected certain parts of posting. Like, I've neglected my TikTok this month because I'm doing this. But I'm just excited to kind of spread my wings in every direction. Like, and I'll leave it at that. Okay. What is something you know you do differently than most people? I would probably say just the way I treat people. Like, I know I'm kind, I know I'm respectful, but I know I'm genuine about it, if that makes sense. Which, not saying that other people aren't genuine about it, but I, like, sometimes there's people where they'll mention something I say. For example, a customer was talking about how she got like the last item of something, and apparently I was like, how fun, like, oh my god, that's so fun. And then my coworker brought it up to me and was like, you were like, how fun, like, sarcastic. And I was like, no, I meant it. I mean what I say, always. It's like, if I speak, it's with intention, always, you know? So I would say that. And then, what could you give a 30-minute presentation on with absolutely no preparation? Literally just pop culture, Harry Styles, good coffee spots in Orange County, good fiction books, and I feel like I would eat with dating advice, is all I will say. Like, my friends and I, yeah, it's fun to talk about that with my friends, and I feel like I have enough knowledge from lots of experience from other people. I feel like I could do that as well. Yeah, I would eat down with that, actually. Like, I think of the advice I give people, never have been in a relationship, but the advice I give people is like, eats down. And I know I just have I have common sense and I have my own perspective. So I feel like that would eat. This is actually really fun. So yeah, a little yap session. That's all I have for you. But I don't know. I feel like disappointed in the fact that my videos don't feel super festive or like productive or active, or sometimes I just forget to pick the camera up, or sometimes they're just so random. So for that, I apologize, but that's where I'm excited to incorporate quality and quantity, you know? And I have so many ideas that haven't been brought to life yet, and that's what I'm excited for. Just gotta do it as much as possible. And I'm still I'm navigating. Being in your 20s is it literally feels like that SpongeBob scene where they're running and everything's on fire and it's just chaos. That's what being a 23-year-old girl feels like currently in the state of the world, the country, everything. And just personal everything. But it's like navigating your social life and your dating life and your career and your future and just family, friends. There's so many facets and genres. I don't even know what to categorize. There's so many that's what it is. There's so many categories to figure out. And then it's self-care and inner work and maintaining your health and you're sleeping enough, but also I want to be more chaotic. It's hard to balance routine and chaos and also locking in and working and everything. And it's always you should show yourself grace and think of how far you've come, but it's I don't feel that I don't feel like I've done a lot is the thing. And I not that I'm disappointed, because I know the fact that I've woken up every day this year and had a day every single day. You know what I mean? Isn't that a crazy perspective? Is how lucky am I to wake up every day and have a new start and see what the day holds. And some days I've been sick, and some days I've been had the most fun, and some days have been chaos, and some days have been slow or dreadful, but I still got up and I still did what I could do. And that's where I show myself grace. But then I think about things I've neglected and things I want to be really good at and improve on and have neglected. So it's hard to manage it all, but then it's I shouldn't even complain about it and I should just get to work. You know what I mean? And I really want to just impress myself. I want to come out of my shell so much and just change my work ethic. I feel like my work ethic isn't that good. I feel like I don't work that hard, and I want to know for a fact and be confident in my work and my abilities. So this was fun. This was like a silly little thing. I should definitely do this more. I definitely want to do more podcast, sit down and chill. Not chill, but just like all I've had to do is sit and talk. And that's been fun. So now I'm saving a bunch of journal prompts on my laptop. I love Pinterest. And there's so many little things that I've neglected too, where it's like, I used to make vision boards and I used to like annotate and I used to, you know what I mean? There's things that my past self used to do that I want to get back to, if that makes sense. So, yeah. Truly one moment at a time. But this was Vlogmas Day 16. I don't know, we can do the Advent, I guess, because I really don't know when I'm gonna do it again. My legs are so sore. Speaking of like neglecting self-care and stuff, I was telling my dad, I was like, you know it's bad when you don't know the last time you worked out. This is gonna be crooked, but it's almost midnight and I still need to get the video up, so bear with me just this once. I'm gonna do the Christmas tree for day 16 because it's been stuck on the back of this every day. So we're doing Christmas tree. And then I knew there was a light, so I was saving it until I saw lights with my dad. So that is for 17. And that's where we're at for Advent. My head's cut off, but this was fun and silly, and who knows how long I'll keep it up, because I might watch this back and be like, oh shit, why did I admit that? But I'm trying to let my guard down and really, like, you're meeting Kenny. This is Kenny. It's funny because I have like Kendall is every version of me, and then Kenny is I feel like Kenny is me when I'm yapping, when I'm with friends, when I'm in my element is Kenny. And then Kendra is like when I don't come to play, when I like play no games, when I'm fierce. Kendra's my alter ego, like baddie, bad bitch, alter ego. But Kendall, what am I doing? I'm gonna go, but much love. See you tomorrow.